Contrary to appearances, I am not a massive idiot. At least I hope so. You saw the title of this video. You know the question that I'm going to be answering. So, let's answer it. In order to explain why I quit working, I think we need to explain why I was working in the first place. Now, most people would say it's obvious, it's money. However, that is not quite the case for me. And I know I am in an incredibly privileged position when I say this. I do not have to work for money. Because of a few fortunate events and a couple of lucky situations, I have enough passive income that if I am very careful and budget everything, I can take in more money passively than I have to spend on necessities for life. I hope. So, why? So, if I can get away with not working, why was I working in the first place? I was working, strangely enough, in order to preserve my mental health. I know for the people in stressful jobs, this sounds strange, but being forced to interact with people and having to actually have fixed routine and things I had to do, it gave me the type of fulfillment and structure that helped keep me grounded. The other reason I worked was for the technical challenges. I work in computer programming, software development, that type of thing. And I was always getting new challenges, new problems to solve, new ideas to explore. That bit really enriched my life. Now, the company I was formerly working at, I was having a great time. I took one of their core systems, rewrote it with our team, and increased the throughput 1,000-fold. We had another system which used very complicated database lookup-y type stuff to implement rules about how things were supposed to be treated mathematically. I was able to create a custom DSL for it, which ended up faster and easier to understand. I even architected and redesigned and helped rebuild most of their back-end systems. Everything that makes money for the company goes through systems that I touched. And this was really enriching. I loved it. Got a lot of work done. Had a lot of fun. This is the type of thing I worked for. This is the type of thing I lived for. Again, it's not the money, it's the thrill. But Then a thing changed. Remember, we had rewritten all of these systems. These were good, stable systems. These systems worked. Unfortunately, there were no new systems to work on. There was nothing new to do. I'd solved the big problems. No new systems meant no challenge, meant no stimulation. No stimulation meant no desire. And no desire resulted in my own productivity dropping. I'd go to work, achieve nothing all day, and still come home exhausted. And this continued for quite a while. My performance dropped. And we started to go into a performance review system. Now, I knew at this point I was burnt out. So, perhaps a holiday would allow me to recharge my batteries. I'd always been interested in content creation. I was constantly writing video essays in my head, but very rarely taking the next step to actually produce them. So during my Christmas holidays, I experimented with being a VTuber. Each day I would produce a video. Some were streams, some were scripted content. I taught myself how to use Inkscape, GIMP, Unity, Blender, Adobe Premiere Elements, VRoid Studio. Okay, now I just sound like I'm resume stuffing. Really fired up these programs and used them enough to understand them to do what I needed to do at that moment. I don't know these programs, but I can run them and get them to do sort of what I want. Apart from the few times that Blender has made my GPU crash my computer. Anyway, got to sort that out as well. It wasn't just programs that I learned. Also started to learn the basics of design and marketing, branding and streaming. Honestly, at this point, I'm just learning how little I know about these subjects. So it's a bit of a challenge. That fortnight enriched my life, and I think that's the first time anybody has said something good about a fortnight. Anyway, holiday was over, and it was back to my previous job. Work was just as bad as before. This holiday had not recharged my batteries. Or, more likely, flat batteries wasn't the issue in the first place. So, I went on to plan A. Work full-time and stream part-time to build up my audience to a point where I could get monetization. That failed. Remember how I said that even though I didn't do anything really productive at work, it still left me emotionally and physically drained? I couldn't stream. And there was still this performance review system stuff in the background. my performance wasn't improving. It was inevitable that I was going to get fired. So, if I'm going to leave, I'm leaving on my terms. Hence, I quit. Now, I am terrified, and here are my fears. What if my budgeting's wrong? What if the estimates of my costs is too low? And the passive income I have isn't large enough. I have savings. And hopefully the burn rate will be small enough that I'll survive. Here's the other fear. What if the novelty of doing this is what's making it feel worthwhile? When it becomes mundane, will I lose interest? Okay, look, I suck as a streamer. As a content creator, I am not good. But I know that by doing this on a regular basis and working on it, my skills will improve. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is what if my skills don't grow fast enough? What if I reach a plateau and I just don't get better? Can I remain at this level of suck? And the final fear, what if I can't grow my audience to a point where monetization is possible? Even though my passive income allows me to survive, I do need an active source of income so that I can feel financially secure. So if this doesn't work, I'm no longer financially secure. Yay! So, what am I going to do next? Well, each day going forward from today, I'm going to post at least one video or one stream. If we are lucky, more than that. Each week, I'm going to prepare and post a schedule. At least once a week, I'm going to prepare an educational or analytic video. And I'm going to hope that all of you will join me on this fucking terrifying journey that I'm about to go on.